So I just want to share a quick story with you guys and my thoughts on how I interpreted it. So not too long ago when I went to my landscape supplier, I spoke to a gentleman who had just basically quit the business as far as lawn care and landscaping. He had his own company and he decided that it wasn't for him, and he just quit, sold all of his stuff and went back to working a 9-to-5 job at one of the landscape suppliers in my area. And we had a good conversation. He sounds like a good guy, smart guy, and we just went into a lot of different details. He asked me a lot about my business and my background, and he shared a lot of his. And I mean, he was up to 2-3 crews, hundreds of accounts, and making all this money. And at the end of it all, the headaches and everything involved were just not for him. It just made me realize how, one, there's a difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur, and two, not everyone can be one or the other or either of those two. So real quick, a business owner is anyone that just owns a business. Whether you go to a McDonald's franchise and buy one of their businesses, or you buy someone else's lawn care or landscaping company off of them, whatever the business is, or an online e-commerce business of some sort, a retail store, whatever it is, if you bought that business and you own that, then you own that business, and now you're a business owner. So it's a business that you own. But the difference is, if you're an entrepreneur, you created that business. You're a problem solver. Most likely you created the business, you invented something to solve your own problem or someone else's problem. And that's entrepreneurship. You created something from nothing. So with that being said, it's two different mindsets. Just buying an existing business and running that business versus creating a business from out of nowhere, from nothing. There's a lot of different challenges and a creative mindset that's required to make something from nothing, to create something from scratch and turn it into a successful business, or any kind of business that makes money for you and whoever else, and then possibly sell that business and make another business and so on. That's the difference between being an entrepreneur and a business owner. I don't really think this gentleman was either or. He was an entrepreneur by default because he started, lawn care business from scratch, but he wasn't happy with it overall. He just wasn't cut out for it. Some of the things he mentioned were, all the taxes and all the payroll and all the bookkeeping and all these things that he had to do, and it was just a big headache. That he had to spend so much time doing these things, however often every week. It was also a pain. He was tired of babysitting all the time. He could never keep good guys. He was always babysitting them. They were always messing things up. And a lot of this stuff you probably guys have all heard, right? And maybe even experienced yourself. But that doesn't mean that there's not a solution. That doesn't mean that that's the exception. There's plenty of guys and companies out there that I've spoken to that are very successful. Yeah, they have employee issues like everybody else. Yeah, there's a lot of bookkeeping and things to take care of. But they find a way to get it done, and the means justifies the end, and it's a risk-reward situation, and they found a way to minimize a lot of those things. They found a way to have and keep good employees and manage those employees. They found a way to either pay someone, or they have like a software system that takes care of all of the bookkeeping and invoicing and the accounting for them. Obviously, that doesn't replace an accountant at the end of the year, or every quarter, however frequently you want to do it. But having a software that keeps all of the information for you together and organized, then you can just take that, print up a report or whatever you need, and give that to your accountant whenever they need it. And that's less work for you to have to do. You don't even have to pay someone else to do it necessarily, but if you do, it's very minimum, and so on, depending on the size of your company, of course. So these are all things that are just challenges that entrepreneurs face, and as true entrepreneurs find a way to overcome. They solve those problems. But it was just actually an inspirational story for me, because I saw it as a challenge to me and all of you out there to not be that guy. You know, I mean, and I know that I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I know that I'm a creator by nature, and that's just something that I'm going to continue to do, whatever I'm doing in my life. So it's encouraging because I feel like I can be successful, and I can kind of learn from his mistakes and other people's mistakes, and anticipate those different obstacles and challenges and find ways to get through them. It's not easy by any means, but it's encouraging to me because I know a lot of people out there that are successful, and I want to be successful. I don't want to be in that situation where I feel like just throwing in the towel. So I thought it was very eye-opening. I haven't really talked to anyone that has gotten to that big of a level and then just quit. I know there's plenty of people that do that. When I first started out, a big company was trying to sell me their stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm just going to try and, you know, do it on my own solo and work my way up and stuff like that. So, you know, he said he wasn't making enough money compared to other things that he was doing, other businesses that he had or whatever, and it was just too much of a headache for him to deal with all the maintenance, all the lawn maintenance and everything every week, and basically the same kind of stuff this other guy said. So again, it's not for everyone, but it is for someone, and I know I enjoy it, and I look forward to continuing to grow, and I hope a lot of you out there watching feel the same way. But let me know in the comments below what you think about that story and just that topic in general, and have you experienced that yourself or had thoughts of quitting, and have you met anyone along the way, along your journey, that has quit or thought about quitting? And share the thoughts down below. I'd like to hear it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Remember to be a rookie for life.